Hello my friends, this is Victor, I'm your flight attendant, and every week, as you might know, I share with you some tips on how to travel in better conditions. If you're new to my channel, if you find me randomly, well, I wish you a very warm welcome, and if you're already a subscriber, well, welcome back. I'm starting something new today. I'm going to tease you about what's happening next week. Next week I'll talk about, it's very serious, what flight attendants do when we have a death on board. It doesn't happen very often, but once in a while that could be happening, so what procedure we have in place. But that will be next week. If you don't want to miss this video, make sure you have subscribed, and if you click on the small bell, you'll get a notification telling you the video is ready for you to watch, and then you decide if you want to watch it or not. But on that note, welcome aboard. So today, you may have seen it on the title, I'm going to give you 10 tips on what to do in the airport. A few weeks ago I told you what to do on the plane if you're on a very long flight and you're getting really bored, but sometimes the journey is not only on board but also on the ground, and you have a long layover of like 5, 10, 12 hours in an airport. What you can do to kill the time, I have a few advices for you. Number one, well, you know, when's the last time you received a postcard? No one sends postcards anymore, but you can find some in the airports, and sometimes some of them are quite funny. So get a few of them, get a pen, and then start to write postcards and send postcards to friends or people that you haven't spoke with in ages. It's so much nicer to receive something in a mail, handwritten, than just a message on Messenger. It's nice message on Messenger, but it's quite warm and it's not that expensive. A postcard will be like $1, and then a stamp will be also like $1. So for $10 you can get yourself busy and send 5 postcards to 5 friends, and by the time you write them, select them, it's already almost an hour done. Another game, and millions of people are doing it. Find a plug to recharge your electronic device. It's always like a hunt to find a proper plug that's working in an airport. So you can see people looking everywhere on the floor, on any pillars, and then if you find that working, find one that's working, well, good luck and enjoy it. Now there's a new trend that's happening. People put fake plugs. Actually, it's just a print of a plug on a post-it and just put it on a wall, and then they just stay a little bit further and look at people coming and try to plug in the device on a piece of paper, and then realize, oh, what is it? It's just a post-it. So it's a new game that's happening. I've seen that online, but you may encounter that one day. But yeah, find a plug and charge your device, because if it's a long flight you might need them. Next tip, start a party. Grab 1 or 2 friends that are with you traveling, put a little bit of music on your phone, start to dance slowly around, and you may get other people joining you and have a small dance party. Doesn't mean having like a huge party and bother people around. You can do that maybe in an empty departure lounge, but start to have fun, and then you can do a flash mob. I know flash mob is very 1990, but there's some really cool one in some airport. I'm actually going to put a link over here to one of my favorite ones. So yeah, do that. Some people also will film some random stuff. They just put the camera on a fixed place and then go in a travelator around you and then do some funny moves. So you can have some fun, do some funny videos, have a dance party. Yeah, enjoy. Now play the game. Who is the weirdest person in a departure lounge? Have a look around and see what are people like, what they look like, what are they doing? Do they have some really weird stuff? So just look at people and kind of analyze or see which one is the weirdest one. And oh, I would never judge me. It's not me, no, but maybe you can judge people. You don't have to tell them. Airports are becoming shopping malls with runway. If you look like Gatwick, London Gatwick Airport, it's a huge mall. There's so many shops you have to go through before you actually see a plane. There's a runway on the back end. It's pretty much like you can find anything that you want in an airport, and because it's duty-free sometimes, they try to encourage you to buy even more. So go shopping. Doesn't mean you have to buy stuff, but you can find really cool stuff that's not on sale anywhere else. So a few years ago, it's like probably 8 or 9 years ago, I was in Frankfurt, and I find this really cool bag, because look what, it's made with a recycled life jacket. I can actually inflate if I want. So I found that in the airport. Now they also have a website, so if you like it, you can have a look. Bag to life, but it's really cool. So, but I found that in the airport. I never saw that in a shop. So there's some really fun stuff you can find in the airport. You don't have to buy them, but it's quite interesting to see what they're selling. Yeah, it's not only Louis Vuitton bags. And while you are inside the airport, why don't you do a little bit of exercise? You're going to be sitting in a plane for quite a few hours, so it's a good thing to walk, and you have the opportunity. Airports are usually quite big. You can really go back and forth, and you can do it while you shop, but do all those steps that your Fitbit wants you to do every day, and then do a little bit more, maybe if you can, and that's a good exercise. You can't really run in the airport unless you're about to miss a flight, but you can walk, no one will tell you off for that. Question for you, when's the last time you called your grand auntie? Maybe it's been a long time ago. So you've got all this time, and usually, like, I know at home we're quite busy, we've got busy life, we have to work, and then on the weekends you're exhausted and you find excuse not to call people, but you have nothing else to do. So after you send those postcards I talked earlier, why don't you call one or two person and have a chat with them? And nowadays, like, everybody's got a mobile phone, it's easy to reach, it's quite cheap to make long distance phone calls, so take this time and call someone, maybe someone who's actually not working, they're retired, and they'll be quite happy to hear your voice. It's been a while, so go and catch up with them. On the same subject as walking, you can actually get a lot of very good health stuff in airports now. Some airports will offer massage service, some will have some spa. So treat yourself. Even some will have a gym, so treat yourself and go for a massage. Go just for a manicure or pedicure or something like that, a facial. There's a lot of small stuff you can do that won't take too long, but actually a massage before a flight is also quite good, so you feel well and a little bit more relaxed, and all the stress by the TSA and everything is actually gone, and then you're ready to board the plane being very zen. So have a look. Not all airports have this facility, but they start to now lease some space to some spa and offer this kind of service because it's quite a good value. My favorite place in the airport is actually the airport lounge. So there are some my favorite place in the airport is usually the airline lounge. So there's some of them are really fancy. Usually you need a card, you need to be a frequent flyer to access them, but there are some that you can actually pay per visit. So what's included? You'll get food most of the time, you'll get Wi-Fi, it'll be much more quiet, you get nice chairs. Some of them will have showers, so if you're in transit it's sometimes nice and relaxing to have a nice shower. There's a bunch of different services available. Some will have actually a business center, we can actually work and print and scan and stuff like that. They will have newspapers and magazines for free, so just investigate. To go ask at the front desk if you can pay per visit, and they'll direct you to another one who might do it if they don't do it. Some credit cards will give you either access or access with a reduced price, so it's quite worthwhile to ask. And some of them, like, it would be like $25 for 4, 5, 6 hours, so it could be quite worth it, because if you think about it, if you go and get something to eat in the airport and maybe a glass of wine or two, you will pass those $25 quickly. When I was in Gatwick last time, I bought the access because I was flying with an airline which I don't have access with my frequent flying card. I paid £25, but I had a meal included, I had a shower, and I had decent Wi-Fi, and it was quiet, and I was there for like 4 hours and actually went quite quick. So investigate that, it could be a good option. And my last tip, in some cases, well, it's quite worthwhile to explore the city. If you have a long layover, maybe see if you have the proper documentation, you're allowed to go through customs and your main bags have been checked through, you just have your carry-on, well, maybe clear customs. There might be a left luggage storage where you can actually leave your carry-on bag, just take your passport and your IDs with you, and then go and explore the city if you can. I know where I live, there's actually a big winery, which is maybe 6 minutes driving from the terminal, and sometimes my passengers are like 5 or 6 hours and they ask me what I'm gonna do because I need to connect in 6 hours, what to do. I don't want to be in the airport. Say, just go outside, take a taxi. The taxi won't really like you for, like, they've been waiting sometime for a while to drive for 6 minutes, but get a taxi, go to this winery, they give you some tours, explain they do the wines here, you can have wine tasting, and also they have a restaurant, so you can have some really nice food, and then you outside, you get some fresh air, and then once you're done, you just take another taxi back to the airport, you go through customs and security again, and you have to be outside instead of just sitting on a not so comfortable chair inside the airport. Some airports actually offer tour within customs, and it's the case of Singapore. It's actually my favorite airport in the world, but Singapore, so you have a long layover, there's so many things you can do, but one of them is actually they put you in a bus and then you're still within customs, so you haven't cleared customs, you're still within international departure, you take the bus and they'll take you in a city, you won't be able to leave the bus, you stay inside because you're within customs, they give you a whole tour so you can actually see what the city looks like, and then bring you back to departure straight, you don't even have to go security again. That's amazing, and and it's quite worldwide. But again, if you have time, if you can clear customs, it could be something to do. Talking about Singapore, I'll tell you why I love it. There's so many things you can do over there. There's actually an IMAX movie, there's a swimming pool, they have a butterfly museum. So it's not butterflies in a box, you actually go through a big curtain and there's butterflies everywhere around you, and then you can spend as long as you want in there, and then you just exit on the other side. Their ceiling is very high, they don't page, so you don't hear every 2 minutes, Gate 52, fly to LA. No, you don't hear that. They do it in the departure lounge, but they don't do it in the main common area. There's a lot of plants and water features, a lot of stuff for kids to do. So you don't feel, there's a lot of shops, but they're not all against each other. There's a lot of space in between. So it's actually a very enjoyable experience. Even a hotel within customs, so you don't have to go to the city. If you just want to have a sleep and pay for a few hours or for the night and spend the night there, you can actually, it's possible. So yeah, that's my favorite airport, Singapore. So thanks for watching me today. As I said earlier, next week will be something much more serious. We're going to talk about death on board. So if you haven't subscribed, feel free to do so. You have a subscribe button right here. Also, you can click on the small bell. And then if you have some tips you'd like to share, what you can like to do when you're in an airport in transit, feel free to put them in the comments below. And I'll see you next week. Bye.